So walking into the market garden this morning here at Whirlwind Family Farm, I started to look around and see how well everything is doing. If you look at everything from a little asparagus patch, out there are cantaloupes, our zucchini, green beans, the list goes on, and they really look well. And it's amazing what rain can do and the difference that it makes. But as I'm walking out through everything today and just checking, making sure everything's okay, I'm looking at the cantaloupe. And one of the things, the questions that comes up each year, and I have to remind myself, is the spacing. Is you really have to think about things when you plant them, how far apart they should be, so you're getting the very best outcome for these plants. And one of those is cantaloupe, because if you look closely right here on the edge, this is the edge of these rows, but you can see as they start to crawl and start to creep, and they have little tendrils, so they grab onto things, very, very similar to a cucumber, but you really have to have the proper spacing. And as you look how well these are starting to spread out, and you can see, if you look closely, you can see all the blooms, which those are potential, if they get pollinated properly, those are going to be cantaloupe. But let's take a step over here where you can actually start to see a cantaloupe on the ground as it is maturing right there. So we have several of those throughout this area that are really starting to do well. So the question is, how far apart? How much of a spacing do you need to give them? And I always say, err on the side of spacing a little further than even what it says. 36 to 46 inches apart on these plants, and the rows should be 4 to 6 feet apart. We're actually a little bit closer out here at Whirlwind Family Farm because we try to make use of our spacing as much as possible. But if you're in a backyard garden, it doesn't take a lot of cantaloupe plants to produce several for your family. Like we're producing up to 4 rows. You can see 4 distinctive rows here because we're actually raising this crop for our customers. But they're absolutely doing great. And again, 36 to 46 inches apart individually on the plant, and the rows 4 to 6 feet apart. And as I said, I would always err on actually being a little bit further apart, because as you can see, they do like to spread out. They do like to take those individual tendrils or arms and really move across the garden. So that's it. Pretty simple with cantaloupes. They do need their watering. They do need that because they are a plant that's going to take a little extra water. We've been blessed with a lot of rain lately. That helps. But whether you're using drip lines or using soaker hoses, always remember, and I always say with watering, get your finger down that soil and you can see whether you have moisture or not. So thanks again. We always appreciate you finding our channel. We appreciate you when you like, subscribe, leave comments, and we have another great video for you right over here. Check it out. That'll take you further along in that gardening process. Blessings from Whirlwind Family Farm over you and your family. Talk to you soon.